Alright, here we go. This is a ranked 1v1 on Salt between the Carbon player on the left side, R3ddog, and the Gothic Saucer and his opponent, the blue player on the right side, Atyla in the Void. Sometimes Void and Black Ops look kind of the same. Void, Osprey, and Atyla, very well known as an Osprey player, very good Osprey player. And sticks to his guns, and can't really say I disagree with going that route. I personally try to stick with a single mech, especially when you're, playing competitively, regardless of what the meta is. Just try to learn and try to adapt as much as you possibly can. R3ddog, as the Saucer, going with the early abducting those neutrals. So, yeah, on maps like Salt, Sandrim, Duel, well, not as much Duel, but kind of. But, yeah, especially because there's a lot of early T-45s and Stingers nowadays, so you can, or at least neutral ones, in starting Outpost. So, as a Saucer, even in 1v1, it's very viable to go with abducts first, but really low on health and does get finished off. Atyla noticed that he's really low on health, so Atyla might actually be able to get this delay. No, not going to go with the neutralization, going to kill the Jackal, the neutral Jackal, but yeah, so not really too much of a loss on R3ddog's side. R3ddog already spawning because level 1 mechs respawn really fast, but it's just another lost unit and it's a little bit of lost time for R3ddog. So I wouldn't say that necessarily put Atyla ahead, but definitely would have been better off for R3ddog not to have overextended his abduct time there. Dropping a Gemini on the high ground, so Atyla will be forced to deal with that. Body block with zone mech, there you go. Very high tier decision making, or not decision making, but like ability to recognize that is what you need to do in the moment that you need to do it. And coming with a supplemental Gemini as well, or not. Is that the same one? No, that is the same one. I could have sworn he was carrying something, but that could have probably been the spectator bug. So now R3ddog putting it once again on the high ground. Atyla forced to respond to that as well. While what is R3ddog doing in the meantime? Just continuing to drop. Actually, was starting to abduct this Longhorn, yes, but now climbing with 2 Gemini, which is double the trouble that Atyla will have to deal with. But with 2 flackers in the area, R3ddog will be hard-pressed to try to stay here to micro his stuff around, so Atyla will be able to shut this down fairly easily in comparison to last time, although he, again, still has to, spend all this. Oh my god, R3ddog, okay, I was about to say, is he going to do another Gemini drop? That's very, like, commitment. He's really making that commitment to just do all the fort damage as soon as possible. And right now drops the Gemini over here to get that neutralization, and up here at the top to get this neutralization, but the tanks have 1 distractive tank there, but the 2 again on the high ground. R3ddog really forcing Atyla to fight a battle on multiple fronts, and as a slower mech, much slower mech in fact, it will be very difficult for Atyla to really do that. So dropping a Butcher and a bunch of creeps on the high ground over here, while R3ddog continues to fight, dropping 3 jumpers and a Gemini over on the top. Outpost will most likely get it neutralized, but with the 3 infantry, will obviously not be able to take it immediately. Will he go back to get more? Too bad I can't really see what's in his build queue. Yeah, nothing's even. I don't even know if he has anything in his build queue, but he does have 18k in the bank, so he definitely has the money to spend. But right now, Atyla defending well considering the circumstances. R3ddog is playing this like enhanced harassment game using units very well. I don't really know if he's aware that Butcher was dropped there, and is actually now dropping Longhorn for some reason. He's building Longhorn, so building Longhorn and Gemini. Oh, okay, never mind, he's not building them. Those were the initial abducted ones. So basically free units that he's using up here, but yeah, the Butcher's making quick work of that, of the Longhorn, but it's a lot of unit commitment by Atyla on the right side. So R3ddog lost a lot of units during all of those drops, but oh, and Atyla no, does not grab the box. There's like a small delay for some reason where you cannot pick up the box, so Atyla was not able to grab it, and R3ddog was able to swoop it from under him. But yeah, so R3ddog losing a lot of units in those drops. Obviously got Atyla down to like about 2/3 of his health, or maybe slightly less than that. But so even though he has lost a lot of units during those drops, Atyla is forced to dedicate a lot of these units back here, kind of to keep R3ddog from continuing to do that and allowing him to just continue to get that slow drop win. But now Atyla pushing bottom does definitely have the unit advantage. What will Red Dog decide to do here? Drops the distractive units, and so Atyla is pushing back, or pulling back here, and actually Red Dog pulled out a ton of tanks from his build queue just right there at the end. So I guess Atyla determined, okay, cannot really contest that quantity of units, especially in a defensive position there with a bottleneck, with his units coming in, well, maybe like a file of 2 at a time or so that they were. So Atyla forced to pull back and put his defenses back there on the bottom right outpost, bringing some heavy mines now to prevent Red Dog from pushing out, which is pretty normal in today's meta since heavy mines are so cost efficient and very low risk for very high, I don't know about reward, but you get a lot out of them for the money you put in. So I don't know if you can really call that a reward. It really depends on how you use them, I guess. So now Atyla putting units on his fort front door, and Red Dog dropping a Gemini for this neutralization. Gonna go for some harass, but there's a lot of flackers over here, and just shooting at the fort, that's really kind of like an obvious, desperate attempt to keep Atyla back. So Atyla might want to suspect that Red Dog, oh, and very, very low on health. Red Dog overextending himself there. Gonna get this Gemini lost. But yeah, a lot of the damage happened or was done by the flackers that are surrounding the fort. Flackers, for the most part, I think Flak AA basically shoots through every structure, as far as I can tell. Unless they don't have line of sight, then they can. But I think their shots can travel through, something like that. They don't really get blocked by you know, difference in elevation or something like that. So if they're actually actively shooting at your mech, you know, and they think they have line of sight, because probably their volley takes a little while to finish off. So if they start shooting at your mech and then your mech moves out of line of sight, I think all of those shots will connect as long as you're still within range of the flacker or the hat or the Gorgon, stuff like that. Anyway, 32 to 46. So Red Dog is making up that that upkeep difference. A couple of mines down here for Atyla are taking up a little bit of his upkeep as well. I don't think Red Dog put down any heavy mines of his own, but now Atyla noticing the Buckies over here. I didn't even notice them. Gonna finish them off manually with his mech pretty easily, but now Red Dog gonna just do more fort damage. Atyla definitely needs to respond to this, and yeah, right when he hears that damage sound, starts to come back immediately. And right now Red Dog has Atyla to about half health, and didn't even lose any of those Gemini that he brought. Okay, now we're gonna try to neutralize this top right. I'm not really sure why he thinks he can do that, because Atyla is right there. So if Atyla can get a single Gemini kill here, it's definitely worth it. Red Dog bringing 2 more Gemini, one for the bottom outpost. Okay, both of them situated at the bottom to get that neutralization. But again, on Atyla's you know, side, in Atyla's territory, I don't know what he really thinks he can accomplish here. Might be able to get a neutralization there at the top there, but with no infantry, he's just going to have to really rely on his Gemini to survive, and going to be pulling them back right now, and drops them before, you know, so he can blink away faster before he gets himself killed. And he's going to lose all of these Gemini. He might be able to grab this one, which is, you know, still has a decent amount of health left, but no, Butcher's there, and he's not coming back for it. So Red Dog clearing his side of mid, might be able to take it before Atyla even starts the mid fight there. But again, the upkeep discrepancy is fairly significant here, 33 to 49. So it's not game-ending difference, but it's pretty, you know, it's pretty significant. If Red Dog can hold this top outpost and gain the, or you know, keep that income advantage, he might be able to turn the tides pretty quickly, or at least even it up. But now Atyla pushing out. Is he going to go for the middle outpost? Oh, and he does get the box. Will he go for the middle outpost? I think he will. There's a lot of units in between, though. A lot of neutral units in between his outpost and the mid. A good amount of Red Dog's tanks are up here as well. Lots of Gemini, so even though it's Longhorn versus Gemini, and Longhorn do win generally, Gemini have kind of closed the gap in terms of balance. And wait, is he not going to go straight up? Did he do a follow move? And Atyla really low on health. That Black A, very, very dangerous. Gets himself killed in the air by Red Dog. But Red Dog getting himself killed by Flackers as well. And Red Dog actually pushed up from here. Okay, this is going to be really interesting. So Atyla, I'm not really sure what he did. Maybe did a follow move to all the way over here, or just a straight up attack. But if he did a straight up attack from here, it would have gone down here and probably up the middle. So I'm not really sure exactly what he did. I think, yeah, probably did a follow move or something like that to get him to here. But wow, that was a very, very long push, and actually going to go straight to fort now. Red Dog still has 15 upkeep. you know, room to build units, so he can start to build up defenses now. He might want to, oh my god, Atyla's going on an Outpost tour and neutralizing this bottom one as well. Heavy Mine's going down, so he's anticipating Red Dog using his units to push down for a counter push, but no. Atyla doesn't even see what Red Dog's doing, pushing basically to fort right now. All of his units, does he see it? Does he see it? Yes, he does, but will he be able to put the Heavy Mines down in time? He needs to prevent a fort push. Yeah, he won't be able to. If he put his Heavy Mines down here, that would not have been, you know, in time to prevent the Gemini from neutralizing this post here, but he will be able to get these armed, I think, before they hit. Yes, so this Gemini right here is dead, but Red Dog now ferrying over. Atyla now pushing down from bottom, so this will be a base race situation. Red Dogs are trickling in, whereas the Atylas are going to be coming in all at once. So will Atyla be able to pull off this defense? There's a lot of damage already dealt to Atyla's fort, so, and a great surround by Red Dog. Will he be able to get enough damage dealt before Atyla's humongous force reaches Red Dog's fort? And it does look like it will be extremely close. The majority of these Gemini are going to be killed very quickly, and Atyla now body blocked, but Red Dog bringing a couple of more Gemini at the top. Atyla definitely needs to do tons of micro right now, but bam, the blue unit clump has hit Red Dog's fort. Who will win this base race? There is a lot of stuff going on right now on the entire map, but that's okay. So Red Dog, this is basically all he has left. Atyla needs to reallocate his units and get blocking right now, and Red Dog might be finished off, and oh my god, Red Dog gets himself killed, and that's going to be it. Atyla is going to be able to take this game. Red Dog will not even be able to spawn before the blue units finish off that carbon fort, and there you go. Wow, what a game. I was avoiding this because it was Salt, and I'm like, god, another Salt game submission, but hey, when high tier players send him in, I guess I just gotta believe him, because wowee, that was a crazy ending to a very aggressive game by Red Dog. Atyla was basically forced to react to everything that Red Dog did that entire game. So many drops at the beginning, so many Outpost drops with Gemini. And Gemini really quick to neutralize because of their weapon value and their DPS. So, you know, a great placement by Red Dog for his Outpost drops, and continuing to place them on the high ground. And you know, if he didn't do a lot of those early drops, Atyla would not have had to react so desperately to those last drops that almost finished off his fort, because he was like at about a half health by the time Red Dog did that last, you know, massive push. But they did trickle in. Red Dog did great micro there at the end to be able to get a good surround, grouped him, but he didn't really keep it up, and I don't really think he could have because of the amount of flackers that were stationed by Atyla's fort. So he definitely did what he could, and I guess he was just so close. It was insanely close. You guys can rewind back and see how close that fort health was. I would guess it was something at like 2 or 1% before you know, he got killed, and Atyla did great blocking and fort defense right there at the end. A couple of his units were, you know, a lot of his units were stationed at that high ground to prevent Red Dog from getting basically unblockable damage. One reason why a lot of people don't like unblockable damage locations for fort drops, because when it comes to situations like that, there's nothing you can really do except maybe, you know, have a lunchbox. But then the lunchbox, I mean, there's a lot of factors. So yeah, there's been several discussions about it. I would recommend the forums, but they are down right now for not really maintenance, but for conversion or whatever they're doing. But yeah, great game. I really appreciate Red Dog for sending this loss into me. Whenever someone sends in a loss, I have you know, my respect for them grows definitely, because their ability to, or not their, you know, their desire to share competitive, you know, high class, really cool competitive AirMech games. It overshadows their you know, their need to show off how well they can play, and their, you know, because competitive players obviously play to win, and that's the kind of game that I like to see, especially when it comes to you know, just doing AirMech casts. So I really appreciate Red Dog sending in this loss. It was very close. It was a close loss. I consider this basically a draw. You know, that's as close to a draw as games like these get. But Atyla able to tiny, you know, pull it out in the end by a tiny sliver. So great game. You guys let me know what you think the turning point was in the comments. And Salt games tend to be terrible, but this one definitely was not. Check out my video descriptions. I don't know how many times I have to say it before people say, hey, where's your submission form? I don't know where it is. It's in every single video, guys. Every single video. Every single video. Just start clicking. Okay? There's already why, and that is game. See you next time.